who are watching, please put them in the chat if you do have any, or teachers, please do feel free to ask. So first, I'll start with you, Abby, because you're at the top of the screen. Could you just let everybody know what year you're in and what you're studying?
So I'm in year 2 and I study just criminology.
Thank you, Abby. And Seren?
I'm in year 3 studying criminology as well.
Okay, so we've got a year 2 and year 3 students with us today, and for you guys, your task really is to let individuals who are thinking about studying criminology, maybe at Huddersfield, maybe not at Huddersfield, maybe anywhere, to give them the lowdown. Really, what is it really like? What have your experiences been like? So first, you're both studying criminology. We'll start with you, Abby, and then move on to you, Seren. Why did you pick criminology?
I think it started with sort of series sort of on Netflix and TV, such as to do with sort of crime and like criminals, all these sort of documentaries that have been put together. I found it quite interesting to watch in my sort of spare time, and I thought maybe I could do it sort of as a job because I do enjoy it quite a lot. So I did look at sort of local universities and sort of what courses they offer in terms of sort of this route. Nothing too specific at the moment. I'm still sort of thinking about what I want to do in the future. But I really do enjoy sort of understanding why people commit crimes, sort of crime scene investigation, sort of everything that sort of runs behind it, why someone sort of is classed as an offender or a psychopath. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess the Instagram of it before was like you're watching CSI or whatever on Netflix. What's the reality been like? So in terms of when you studied criminology, did it meet your expectations? Is the subject similar? How did you find that?
I think that it did meet my expectations, but in a different way. It's not as simple as sort of finding criminal and saying you've done this because of this. It's more sort of relating to theories that have been around for like hundreds of years, and sort of actually going further down into that as to why someone's a criminal. So it's not as simple as going, you're a bad person because you've done this, but actually sort of figuring out why they've done that could lead to sort of different factors, whether it's actually in their DNA or whether it's just due to sort of their family arrangements. Sort of actually delving deeper into why someone commits crimes or is sort of a deviant. It's really interesting, actually. I do enjoy it very much, and I do feel as though like this sort of topic has helped in other ways as well. I feel more confident and sort of comfortable in sort of knowing why someone is the way they are. If that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense. Thank you, Abby. And over to you, Seren. Why did you want to study criminology?
For me, similar to Abby, I always loved the criminal documentaries and stuff, but it was specifically when I was doing my A-levels. I studied law and psychology, and when I was looking for universities, I couldn't decide between the two. Like, I wanted to do psychology and I wanted to do law, and then somebody suggested to me, why don't you do both and do criminology? So I decided to look more in the criminology aspect and look at courses, and decided that's something I would rather do instead.
Okay, and when you're here, the reality, you've had three years of it. What's the how has that been, the actual subject content? Is it what you expected? Is it how would you discuss that?
I think it's a bit of both. So the theory side of it I found quite interesting because it's stuff that I'd never considered before, especially with, say, like challenging my own way of thinking, like victimization studies and stuff like victim blaming. I was like, it's got to challenge yourself, and that's the main thing the content has taught me. Don't just assume things. There's always something else that could be causing that as well.
Yeah, no, excellent. Thank you, Seren. I've got a few more questions for you, and then we'll finish. And this will go out to many different schools. So you'll be helping lots of individuals with their choices here. So, why did you pick Huddersfield? Start with you, Seren.
It was originally a fluke. I picked Huddersfield. I needed a placement holder for my UCAS. But my parents convinced me to come to the open day, and as soon as I walked in through the door, I decided I needed to come here and wanted to come here. The course was everything that I wanted to do and wanted to learn. And ever since that point, I've just loved being here. Huddersfield was just the right place for me.
What was it? You said as soon as you walked onto campus. I'm interested to know now. What was it? Was it the staff? Was it the campus? I'm wondering who it was as well now, who you interacted with. But yeah, what was it?
I can't quite remember who it was. It was a female lecturer, and she just made it sound incredibly interesting. And she was asking us questions about what we thought, and I specifically remember her asking what kind of mental disorders James Bond had. And I was the only person in the entire class to say, oh, he has like narcissistic personality traits and stuff. And she was like very positive about it, told me that that was such a great idea and everything. And ever since I was like, I like the stuff here. I want to come here.
Okay, so that's good. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so you've had that experience. As soon as you walked onto the campus, and I guess for anybody who's thinking about studying with us, that's one of the things to come and to look at and have that experience, like Sarah did with our staff and our campus. So what? One of the other things I guess for us to talk about, because I think if I've got this correct from our conversations we've had previously, Abby, I believe you commute to university. Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Sarah, you live at university. So we've got two very different types of students, yeah. And I think one of the great things about our university is we have that diverse mix. So it's roughly 50-50 in terms of the students who commute and live in the local area and students who come and live in accommodation. So Abby, how has that been for you in terms of commuting to Huddersfield? So I guess you studied college at sixth form, you live in at home, I guess, and then you're changing to university and traveling in. How have you found that? What are the benefits or the disadvantages?
At first, I had sort of a different journey. I didn't do sixth form or A levels. I did a higher access course, and then I went to a different uni and I really didn't like it. And I was like, I want to come home. And I thought Huddersfield is my local university, and I very much preferred it. Preferred the staff, I preferred the campus, and I preferred the fact that I was closer to home, that I could commute. I think that because I'm from sort of the local area, I've grown up in Huddersfield, it's sort of been maybe a bit easier than someone that isn't from the area, because I sort of know the area, know the surroundings, sort of. But I have thoroughly enjoyed it. In terms of sort of commuting to a local university, I couldn't have asked for anything more, really, if that makes sense.
No, good. So that it was within your expectations. You obviously went out somewhere and then came to us. So that's really great, and that it's worked for you over the time you've been here. You've managed to keep your home comforts and get or on track to get the degree that you want to get. What about you, Sarah? You obviously moved from down I can't remember, Midlands way or whatever it is, somewhere up that part of the country, and you came here. How have you found it? How have you found the transition to, I don't know, living on your own, studying, trying to motivate yourself? I guess for you, one of the big challenges obviously was COVID as well, but COVID aside, how has that been?
I kind of, because I don't live too far away, I'm about an hour and a half away, I wanted to kind of distance myself from home life and like build up my own independence, but not be too far away. So coming to Huddersfield and making friends with my flatmates and stuff like that, it's kind of, the whole experience is a learning curve. I did get a bit homesick when I first came here, but once you push through that and you learn your routines, you get into the course and you get to know your flatmates, it's kind of like having another home from home. And I've just really enjoyed having my education separate from my family life. And it just makes you feel a bit more grown up, so to speak. And it's just quite enjoyable learning things on your own and differently from at home.
So I guess that's two very different perspectives, and I guess it works for whatever works best for for students, really, in terms of what you want to happen. And I think that's one of the great things about our university is that we have it's nearly an equal mix. So whichever school of thought you are from, if we talk about it like that, you'll be with like-minded people. So whether you're living with people in accommodation or whether you're commuting with people from the local area who you may already know. The University of Huddersfield is very, very good for that. So that's very interesting. It's very interesting to see how that's worked for both of you. So thank you for that. In terms of whilst you've been at university, what sort of support have you needed, and what's the support been like? I'll start with you, Abby.
When I first started, I actually spoke to someone that's on the call today, sort of regarding the fact that I just transferred in time for sort of the first half term, so I missed a couple of weeks worth of stuff, and I did sort of talk to that member of staff about how to catch up, what I should do in sort of terms of deadlines, who I should contact, and also how to sort of use the platform we use at Huddersfield, which is Brightspace. I sort of got all the sort of help I needed and wanted at the time. And I also was sort of reassured by sort of my tutors for modules that like I was allowed sort of extra time as such, a few extensions for certain things, because I did have stuff to catch up on and also stuff to currently do in class. And I definitely sort of received the support, and also with my sort of application moving over from a different uni to this uni, Huddersfield were very helpful sort of in terms of that, because there was a couple of things that I had to sort of move over and confirm and stuff. So definitely helpful, and I sort of couldn't ask for more, really.
Okay, good. So you had the support to help you transition and catch up. What about you, Sarah? So thinking about over the 3 years, I mean, the support can be academic, but all of the services really. What sort of support? What has the support been like?
I'd say the support is, as support specifically for me, I've used academic support and the wellbeing services, and specifically academic support. They kind of explain things differently than a lecturer would, especially when it comes to getting feedback on assignments, how to reword things, simple things like referencing, things that you might not necessarily think are a big deal, but then the way they explain it to you and they teach you how to do it properly, it just helps overall, especially in the academic side. And then because I was here for first year in COVID, and obviously there was a lot of isolation, we couldn't come onto campus or anything, wellbeing really helped me, like talk through the aspects of stress relating to, say, home life, flat life, and being in accommodation on my own, and also the academic side. But then it's also throughout the entire 3 years, specifically the lecturers that I have, they've always helped me with other things. They may not be a lecturer, but you can also talk to them about other things as well. And they've just been in a massive support network throughout the entire time I've been here.
That's great. I guess you've used quite a few of all of the network there. What Sarah was referring to were the academic skills tutors, which run separately to courses and what the university offers all students, who are there really to help and support academic writing, academic referencing, and your personal grades, Sarah, and that's obviously paid off very, very well for you because you're achieving very, very high grades. So yeah, using the support services and the support available, it's nice to hear that you've both found the staff supportive. And I guess I'll finish with one final question for you, Abby, because I know you've got to head off to another lecture now. You briefly mentioned it before, but where are you hoping your criminology degree will take you?
It's currently quite open. I haven't got a specific job role in mind. I would definitely say the police is an option. Also, some sort of crime scene investigation is an option, but also to sort of teach criminology at unis, at colleges as well. That is an option. Something down this route. I'm sort of trying to narrow it down at the minute. Yeah.
Well, the benefit of you've still got a year and a bit to go for that, so you don't worry that you don't know
Yeah.
that just yet. You've got some ideas, which is the most important thing, and you can be working towards them. But thank you, Abby, for your. I know you've got to rush off now, so thank you for your time, and these recordings will be very useful for students who are thinking about studying with us. So. Thank you, Abby, and I'll let you go. Sarah, and I'll ask you two more questions, and then we're finished for this talk. What has studying in Huddersfield been like? So Huddersfield itself. So in terms of like, what's the usual routine for a University of Huddersfield student who lives here, studies here, and the student life? So more outside of academia. What sort of things have you been up to? What's your usual week look like?
My usual week would probably be quite a lot of lectures, obviously, because we're at uni. But outside of that, on a weekend, there's a lot of clubs in Huddersfield. I'm not a clubber, but quite a lot of my friends are, and they always love to go out and go drinking. There's a lot of social sides, like restaurants and stuff like that you can go to during a weekend and an evening. But specifically for student community, there's a lot of societies. They range from academic societies to sports societies, and for 6 hours a week, I take part in the Self-Defense Society, and that helps for like boost confidence. It kind of like builds a community, and it's like a little family, but it also, because it's a form of exercise, it also blows off a lot of steam, like de-stressing and stuff like that. So my week probably consists of working and studying, but then also beating people up as well.
And one of the members that you get to beat up is actually a member of the academic team, so
Yes.
which is, I'm sure, is sometimes much needed. Okay, thank you for that. So societies, nightlife, and restaurants, and lots of other things. I guess other than that, Sarah, and I guess the final question is what I asked Abby, really. Where are you hoping to go next? What are you hoping your criminology degree can lead to?
My current plan is to go on to do a master's to also expand my knowledge that I'm already learning and have learned throughout my 3 years here. And I'd like to go into the academic side of it, do some more research, possibly get a PhD or do some sort of lecturing and go down that route rather than the practical side of it, because I really like learning new things and just constantly expanding things that I didn't know.
Excellent. So that's really interesting, and you are probably going to be one of these people who criminology is going to change. You're going to change the world a bit with your knowledge of criminology in some way, shape or form. So thank you for sharing your experiences about your experience over the past 3 years. I'm sure that'll be really useful for lots of students. So thank you to everyone who's listened into this. Hopefully you've enjoyed hearing our students' stories about their time here. If you do have any questions, please do get in touch with us. We'll be happy to answer them. But that is it for today. And Lindsay, if you stop the recording, then that would be great.